You know, with doing this, it's harder to find these sites than it is to find things at these sites. And unbelievably, it's like a whole different world. And that's actually the only place I could really hear iron. A large, dandy button to show for it. And look at that. Bone dry. Well, hey everybody, welcome to another Not Thursday in New Hampshire. So yeah, we're out exploring, looking for some colonial sites to metal detect. If you guys remember, we went out for a hike recently in that big area looking for sites. We didn't find any new ones. I showed you guys what they look like out here and how hidden they can be. Well, I'm back in that area, except this time I'm on the northern end. I had found a way in from the east, west, south is impossible. But this time around, we're coming in from here. And unbelievably, it's like a whole different world. We were probably a mile out that way, and the terrain looks completely different. So let's head out and see what we can find. Well, I'm only about 10 minutes into the walk, and as I explained before, this is a public place for, you know, recreation stuff, but it's huge. And all this behind me is shifted. And it was clearly dug out and pushed back a long time ago. Oh yeah, wow. This is all just fill pushed back over the edge here, which doesn't make what I do any easier. No walls at all either, and there should be, so we'll just keep moving out. So this is interesting. Another 10 minutes out, I found that wall which corners off to a very, very small wall heading down in there, and that's it. And it's moderately okay out here land-wise, but this wall means we're onto something. Well, here's a remarkable site. So up here, okay, walls, it is somewhat groomed down to this point, and look at that, bone dry. Wow. So I guess we'll seize the moment to be able to cross that. Huh. All right. Nice. Well, in crossing that, I can see that the wall crossed it as well. It's thick out there. Well, it's like 30 minutes later. I've looped, I've gone around. It's mind-boggling, actually. I'm finding small strips of wall like this, piles of field stones, just like the site you guys saw me find that Mass State copper. Same thing, little piles of rocks, little strips of wall, but I can't see anything in here. Granted, it may have been bulldozed. Like I said, they shifted a lot up there. If I can't find it on this side, that means it's on the other side of that wetland, and I'm just on the tail end. It may not have been wetland 200 plus years ago. If that's the case, I'll actually have to drive around, but let me look in here for a few more minutes and then we'll call it. So I'm picking up iron every 20 or 30 feet as I walk. Maybe just a nail. But you see this little wall? This is living space type stuff where they're just kind of discarded, cleaning out the immediate living space. And there's several of these around here. I don't know if I'm looking for a cellar hole, and it's just a footprint. No hole, just a cabin sitting on top of one spot. But right now, this is just, it's just too close. The signs are all there. I don't know. I don't know. All the right pieces are there. I'm gonna have to hike all the way back, get in the vehicle, and drive around the other side of that wetland and see what it looks like on that side. And hopefully the house didn't sit where it is now, wetland. So I'll be back. Well, there it is. It all makes sense now, what I had to do now that I've taken the tour. Imagine this. Here's where we are in the cellar hole. Down the slope. All wetlands. And we were up here earlier in the back end of the field. Which actually it's not that far line of sight, but walking, or actually I had to drive around. It was pretty far, but I knew we were close, so this is exciting, and let's see what's in the ground. Well, that was brutal between the roots and the rocks. But we have a large dandy button to show for it. Awesome. I'll give that a little clean and see what she looks like. There we go. All kinds of colors going on. Ripped off shank. Beautiful start. Button. Wow. Well, it didn't submerge very far, considering the ground conditions. That's why it was so loud. And it is tomback, so dealing with the 1700s out here as usual. But I will say, it's quiet. It's taken me 15 minutes to get these two buttons. Don't know if it's been hit a long time ago, or it's just from loggers, because I can see there's a logging stretch right on the other side there. It's just all dragged. But we can find a few things. That will be great. Oh, nice. Wow, that was tough to get. Lots of rocks and everything. I'm right on the lip, so it's been filled in, obviously, when they built this up. But that is a baby pewter spoon. At least what's left of it. That's awesome. So there are signals in here. They're just a little bit tougher to get at than normally. Big signal, little target, little piece of pewter. Wow. I thought for sure that was going to be a button. That's all right. I'd rather hear stuff than no stuff. Well, from several loops around the cellar, the chimney stack is right here. This has been the only side and just around the edges that is intact, and I've gotten signals. I'll show you guys before we go what the rest of it looks like and how it's been just shifted in. Wow, that may have been the signal. The size of that nail. Piece of glazed pottery, we'll take that. Now we've got clean signal. It's just a piece of clipped lead. Huh, interesting. Well, there's no doubt that's all we're getting out of this location. To find it was wonderful. But here is the corner lip right here. Here's the actual corner. You should be stepping into the cellar hole, but all the rocks, everything's been pushed in on almost every side, except for that side where the chimney stack was. And everything came from there to there on that lip. And that's actually the only place I could really hear iron. But we did all right. I did orbit out a little bit, just quiet. They log out here. Even 80, 100 years ago, they're still dragging timber, and it's just shifting everything. So I thank you guys for joining me as usual. It was a good day. You know, with doing this, it's harder to find these sites than it is to find things at these sites. You know, I like to go where there's no roads. This is all bushwhacking out here and reading the landscape. So to get out here is the major accomplishment. If I find a few things, wonderful. If there's stuff here, well, in reality, it's not going to be difficult to find. Once you start nitpicking, yes, through the iron, then that's where your skill comes into play. But what we did today was totally mission accomplished. And I'm glad we did it. So, you guys get out, pull something off, and I'll see you soon. Until next time, enjoy your Not Thursday.